Hello, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you all are here, it's because you want to speak English with confidence. And trust me, you're not alone. Whether you're preparing for an interview, a presentation, or just want to chat with friends in English without second guessing yourself, I've got you covered. So, in today's video, I'm going to share 5 powerful tips that will help you speak English confidently, no matter what your level is. So let's quickly get started. Number 1, overcome the fear of making mistakes. The biggest thing which stops you from speaking English is the fear of making mistakes. Overcome your fear of making these mistakes. A lot of people hold themselves back because they are scared of saying something wrong. But here's the thing, making mistakes is actually one of the best ways to learn. It's totally normal to get a wrong word, a wrong phrase, mispronounce something, or even use the wrong grammar. What matters is how you handle it. If you make a mistake, just laugh it off, correct yourself, and move forward. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make. So, in short, remember, confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about being okay with imperfection. You must be confident of making mistakes. No problem if you make a mistake, just correct it and move forward. Tip number 2, practice speaking regularly. Confidence in speaking comes from consistent practice. You should be practicing speaking English in your daily life. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll feel. You don't need to wait until you're fluent and then start. Right? To be fluent, you need to practice it, and then you'll be fluent in English. If you don't have a partner to speak with, no problem. Talk to yourself in front of the mirror. The person standing in front of you is the one who is giving the answers, and you will be making the questions. So talk to yourself in the mirror, repeat what you hear in English podcasts, or even use language exchange apps to connect with people. The key here is to make speaking a habit. Tip number 3 is start believing yourself. Start saying positive things about yourself. Start with positive self-talk. Confidence is not about only knowing the right words. It also comes from believing in yourself. A lot of people get nervous speaking because they fear making mistakes. But guess what? Mistakes are normal. They are actually a sign that you are learning. Now, instead of thinking I'm going to mess up, try saying that I'm improving every day. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Start trusting yourself. Start thinking that yes, I can do it for sure. Next is focus on communication, not perfection. When we are learning a new language, it's easy to get caught up in trying to say everything perfectly. But the truth is, no one speaks perfectly all the time, even not the native speakers. So do not try to be perfect all the time. Just try to communicate in English. Try to use it as a habit. So instead of stressing over every little grammar mistake, focus on conveying your message clearly in English. Native speakers will understand you even if you make a few errors. What's important is that you're trying and communicating effectively. So don't worry about sounding perfect. Just focus on getting your ideas across. The other person should understand what you're saying. Confidence comes from being comfortable with yourself and your ability to communicate. Next is expand your vocabulary gradually and slowly. It's tempting to learn all the fancy words at once, but you don't need a giant vocabulary to sound confident and to speak English fluently. Instead, try to learn and use 1 or 2 new words each day. You must try focusing to learn some words and try using them in your sentences in your everyday life. Whenever you come across a new word, try to use it in a sentence or conversation. It's a great way to remember it and feel more confident when you're speaking. Remember, it's about having a few strong words you can rely on rather than trying to memorize thousands of words. Next tip is to listen and imitate native speakers. A great way to sound more natural and confident in English is to listen to how native speakers talk, how they pronounce, what is their tone, how they speak, what words they use. You can try to listen to them, to their TV shows, to the podcast, movies, YouTube videos, and try to imitate them. Try to imitate the way they speak. In this way, you can learn to speak English confidently. Don't worry if it feels a bit awkward at first. Imitation is a very powerful tool. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Next is surround yourself with English. This one is very important as the more you're exposed to English, the more comfortable you'll become. Change the language settings on your phone, watch English content, read books, even try thinking in English when you're going about your day. By immersing yourself in the language, it starts to become second nature and your confidence will grow as well. Now, the last tip, but the most important one, is to practice, practice, and to practice. Trust me, guys, once you start practicing, it will become your habit. You wouldn't expect to be good at anything without putting in the work, right? The same goes for speaking English. The more efforts you put, the more results, more better results you can see. I hope I covered all the topics that were required and I hope you like this video. If you do, just subscribe to my channel and share this video to all those learners waiting to speak English more confidently.